Okay, that's enough.
I mean, we probably should have done this like a week ago, where like, hey, everybody log in to roll 20 and just fucking walk away from the camera. Like, just gonna do Alexa, set a bet for 3 years from now to remind Flynn to make this ahead of time. She responded.
Good?
Okay! Hooray! We're on the internet.
We're done? We're
Yes,
ready?
we're ready. We're ready.
Good to
I'm
go?
sorry. Yes.
It looks great.
Woo-hoo.
All right.
Get the rest
So, welcome to the new campaign, guys.
Whoop, whoop. We live.
I've been looking forward to this for a little while now. I hope you enjoy yourselves. Let's get started, shall we? I honestly don't know how to start, so I'm just going to do it.
Level 2. Level 2.
Welcome to the world of Aegion. In the year 2604 of the First Age, gods of Mount Olympus went to war with the Titans to unseat them and claim control of the plains to protect their favorite creations, the sentient peoples of Aegion. The people rose up behind their hero Hercules to aid the gods in defeating the Titans and locking them away in the wall. To reward the people for their aid in defeating the Titans, the gods promised the people that they would not overly interfere with the goings-on of Aegion, though they still take interest in individuals quite often and for various reasons. Hercules was rewarded for his heroic deeds with an invitation to join the gods on Olympus. This act began the Second Age. The lands of Aegion still bear the scars of those great conflicts. Though it has been centuries, the world is still a volatile place, where nightmares emerge from the darkness. Both ancient evils from the time of the Titans, and new dangers from distant lands and other planes of existence. The year is now 548 of the Second Age, and many individuals now try to recreate the ascension of Hercules. The elves of Telrune have been in a time of relative peace for over 50 years. Under the reign of the current Sun King and Moon Queen. With the dwarven raids a thing of the past, and the last invasion from the Empire rebuffed over 50 years ago, they continue to thrive on their islands, aggressively isolated from most of the known world. They dedicate their long lives to the study of philosophy and both the arcane and divine magics, with a deep appreciation of nature and living in harmony with it. The dwarves of Ethmond are a boisterous and adventurous and loyal people. In the centuries since the fall of the Titans, the population of their mountain halls have boomed. Their frozen and mountainous homeland is rich in mineral wealth and timber, but not in food options. So, to feed their growing population, they took to raiding the shores of their neighbors. Though, in recent years, their international relations and trade have improved, as the majority of their raiding is now against the northern outposts of the Empire. It would improve further still if the rest of the world knew what kinds of nightmares and aberrations they keep at bay, coming up from the Underdark. However, the tunnels are vast, and some still sneak past. The Calcarian Empire, over the last centuries, has conquered all of southwestern Aegion, from the Moldy Grove in the north to the red borderlands in the south, and from the capital of Calcaria in the east to the tips of the High Hill Peninsula in the west. Under the current emperor, Avitus Tacitus, the empire is in the middle of a 10-year campaign to take Al Rawam. Al Rawam was founded 100 years ago by 2,000 tiefling slaves of the empire, the survivors of those that fought their way to freedom. It is now a city of anyone looking for a fresh start or a second chance. It has been under siege from the Empire for a decade, with the Empire vowing to reclaim what is theirs. The Allied Republics of the Five Cities is one of two forces to have successfully defended itself against the Empire. One of the five cities from the founding of this alliance was destroyed and lost to time in the Empire's first invasion. The remaining four cities formed the Republic and hold together to this day. However, with each city's fierce independent spirit and old rivalries, it has not always been easy to keep the Republic together through the years. That brings us to the dark, dank, and damp belly of a ship traveling across the Sun Sea, where we see 5 heroic individuals rowing in chains. The Johns, would you two like to give us physical descriptions of your characters, and also tell us your character's name and what they are?
Ladies first.
Oh, that's quite gentlemanly of you. For this beginning part of this campaign, hopefully for the extension of it, I will be playing Osil Frostbeard, daughter of Torga, the Three-Eyed. Standing at a hefty 4'4", roughly 200 pounds of dwarven might, a set of intricately tattooed runes all over their right arm. And as they're rowing, you see that there's a large trident on the underside of the left. Their hair is kind of braided and matted and dreaded, kind of been tied together, with a semblance of facial scars that show a seasoned warrior. I think that's good.
Danky?
My name is Thorin Broodiron. Me and Osville. What? How do you say it? Ossil. Ossil. So the D is silent. Me and Ossil share a father and mother, and I got all of the physical genetics from our family.
Thank you so much.
For dwarves, I
I'm gonna
am
have to introduce myself
towering.
soon. Jeez.
I
Thank you
am
very much.
probably one of the biggest, widest, and
Thank you.
bulkiest you would have ever met. Some would even say the realm's strongest and biggest in the here. From my chest all the way down to my wrist are runic tattoos of our clan and of any kind of dwarven heritage. I have long, blonde, dreaded hair, and I think that just about does it.
And is there any sort of conversation taking place as we meet them for the first time?
Oh, absolutely.
Are we in like a longboat situation, or is it like we're in under deck
You're
situation?
under deck. You're under a deck in the belly of a ship with chains across your wrists and some manacles and chains across your ankles, chained to a bench as you are both working the same oar. In all of your, the only stuff you have is the stuff you were wearing. And by that I mean literally what clothes or armor you were wearing.
So we're wearing armor or no?
You have your armor on because that's basically your clothes, but like
Yeah, we don't have our
that's
weapons.
about it. That's about it. You don't
yeah.
even have your boots.
Is our captain or our captors? What race are they? Because I guess that would.
We'll
Term-
get to that
Okay.
in a second. But what kind of
Yes.
conversation is happening?
So
Javon?
Thorin looks over at Val and says, "Had to go for that last fucking piece of treasure. Really, just couldn't just get back on the boat, go fucking home. Had to go get that last fucking."
I believe, brother, that you must have taken a strike to the head because there was 6 of them coming after us, and you ran straight headlong into them.
I did that.
Aye.
Well, you know why I did it, right? So you could get back to the fucking boat.
Welcome to my brand.
Right. I was on the boat, and you were the. Oh,
Valentine,
look
thank you
at
so much for the
me.
sub.
Oh,
Allow me to,
big
if you're still
anime.
around at the end of the session, please.
You
let me,
walk
as
you're an
that
idiot.
argument, as
Allow
that
me to,
argument
serenade you at the end.
we cut to a different scene entirely. We are no longer on the ship. We watch as Thorin, not in chains, but comes walking into a cluttered, damp from sea spray hut across the way. It smells of salted and drying fish. And across the way, we see a dwarf sitting in front of a huge fishing net, fixing some tears in it with one hand. As they turn around and you see your father, Thorin, as he turns around and looks at you and says, "So you did what we discussed at your ceremony for your clan choosing?"
I did. Or
Good
wait,
then. Good then.
wait. Out of character. Did I?
He told you to do the opposite of what you did.
Oh, okay. Rewind. I not do as you advised.
Turns around and goes back to fixing the fishing net, and without turning around and looking back at you, and says, "I knew you weren't blessed by the gods with an overabundance of brains, but I didn't think you were really that stupid."
Not just about smarts. It's about loyalty and representing who and where I came from.
The scene fades to black as it comes up again on a cold, snowy shore, but instead of sand, it is very smooth, rounded pebbles. As we see Thorin standing on the edge of the coast, arms crossed and waiting, as a hull of a longship comes sliding up. And Val, you return from your first raiding season.
So, oi, Thorin. I guess you're
Oi.
you're jumping on.
Yeah,
I
can't
thought
let
the
you out.
I thought the brood irons you weren't due for your go around for another year or so.
Somebody's got to take care of you.
I take care of me.
With your brash and stupid, impulsive decisions, yeah, no, I'm coming.
All right. Apparently, we're taking the kettle with us.
Hey, just listen. All of your fucking weapons are gonna be tip-top shape, whether you like
Excuse
it or
me.
not.
Excuse me. Who do you see upon the prow of this here longship? Me. I give commands to the crew.
Oh no, I'm basically not giving a command. I'm basically saying I'm gonna take care of them because that's my job.
Whatever.
We
Thank you so much.
fade to black
Everything's
again
on soft. Holy
and come
shit.
back up inside that
Thank you very,
familiar
very
hut.
much.
But Val, you are sitting
No,
there
seriously.
with your mother, Torga.
Thank you very, very, very
Getting
much.
ready to
Oh,
leave
shit.
for
Oh,
your
God.
second raiding
Oh,
season.
God, stress. Okay, I
As
can do this.
she says, "Well, I just hope you
That's very kind
found
of you. Thank you.
what it is that's going to make you happy and able to contribute to the people."
It only took me a few scars, but yeah. I'm a raider. It's what I do. It's what I'm good at.
Well, I'm just glad you're going to be taking your brother along this time for a little extra protection. He may not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but he can make the sharpest tool in the shed, and if he can do anything, he can take a hit. I think it'd do him good to get away from his father for a while.
Aye. It is hard on them.
But enough about him. I invited you here and asked you here to talk about you. Just because you've found a life as a raider doesn't mean you have to leave our family's trade behind. She reaches under the table and pulls out something that's wrapped up in some sort of in like an embroidered cloth, and it's sort of oblong, and she sets it down on the table in front of you.
I'll unwrap
It's
it.
for you. It is. You recognize it instantly. It is a spirit egg. She says, "Take this with you, care for it, and once you've given it enough love and attention, a companion will come forth."
Is this Digimon?
I wrap it back up like very. Like I make sure all the padding and everything that was gonna put in there that I fucked up when I unwrapped it. All right, yeah, I'll totally take care of it. I'll make sure that it hatches.
It'll help watch out for you. The ancestors will imbue it with power to keep you safe.
All right. I'll just look around real quick and like this demeanor of like stoicness kind of drops, and he goes, "It's only a year. I'll be back soon, and I'll give my mom a hug."
She gives you a big hug. and slips some dried, salted, like fish jerky into your pouch.
My favorite.
And we fade back down to black and come back up on the scenes of a raid in progress, burning thatched roofed buildings, dwarves running in and out of the buildings, knocking in doors, pulling out valuables, some of them hefting whole barrels of like grain and stuff back to ships. As we come to a over-the-shoulder shot as we rise with the smoke, the black smoke from a burning building, we come to Thorin's perspective as you see off in the distance your sister Val surrounded by six enemies that are quickly closing in on her. And you hear for the first time that voice kind of creep into the back of your head that says, "You can't do this alone. You'll need me." Let me in.
Fine.
Some sort of force kind of. Your vision almost goes white for a second, and as you kind of, almost like that sensation of when you're riding a horse or something for a long time, and like the last 15 minutes go by and you kind of just realize like, wow, I haven't really been paying attention to anything, and you kind of almost like coming to. Val, you look around as in multiple pieces the six individuals around you are strewn across the ground.
Just shock.
Yeah, he's just sitting there breathing heavily.
All right, I'm gonna take this barrel back to the longship.
It fades back to black, and we come back to the belly of said ship. As the camera pans across the belly to another bench, to a very different aesthetic, as Artanis, would you give us a description? Tell us about your character.
Artanis Fenfear is not especially tall for an elf, just under 5.5 feet tall, and lithe, and seems to be observant, kind of looking around the ship with interest, just as if kind of taking in interesting sights. He's of a darker hued skin, but not quite drow, with long black hair and clothing that on first sight looks fairly simple, but closer inspection would reveal, based on the types of stitching and quality of the material, that it's very well made, as is not necessarily uncommon for elves. And he just kind of peers around, trying to look and see what all he can learn from the sights in front of him.
With that, we fade to black and come back up on a snow-covered mountaintop. Sitting amongst it, a temple that looks like it was grown out of crystal. Inside, we come to a ceremonial chamber, at the center of which is an enormous crystal emitting light. There are several other elven individuals flanked by what you would assume are their parents, standing in a circular formation around this crystal, as the younger elves, one at a time, each walk up to the central crystal and touch it, and it changes to different colors, to green, back to a golden yellow light, another green, and eventually we watch Artanis walk up to the crystal. What do you do, Artanis?
I look at around at all the people and the other kids that are the younger elves that went before me, and then I kind of stare into the crystal with a kind of a growing smile for a moment as I reach out to touch it.
As you make contact with it, for the first time, it shines a bright blue, a deep royal blue color. And you make eye contact for the first time ever, Artanis, with Evelos, who smiles.
I grin back.
We cut to the inner halls of Theftheas, where you are standing in a receiving area, Artanis, with Avelos, just outside the throne chambers of the Sun King and the Moon Queen. As Velos is saying to you, I had every confidence that you would pass the trials based on our times together, and I may have suggested to Grandmaster Arara that you deserved an assignment away from the islands, and we are here because the king and queen would like to see you off personally.
Away from the islands? Are you serious?
Yes. You've been my most gifted apprentice, Artanis.
There's so much to learn. Can't wait.
Remember what you're going for, though. We need intelligence. There's a reason I showed you that ritual.
Understood.
Yes, you are being sent to learn. Yes, you are being sent to learn, but for specific reasons. Your brothers and sisters in the Order need that kind of information for when they will inevitably run into the people out there as foes.
I understand. I won't fail.
Good. At that moment, the doors open into a vast throne chamber as you are greeted in person by both King Adran, the Sun King, and Queen Shanerla, the Moon Queen. As you walk up to the center trunk of Theftheas, the king greets you and says, "So you are this apprentice that Evelos has been telling me so much about."
I am, Your Majesty.
He's explained to you the task that's before you?
He has, and I swear to do my best to honor our people and protect them.
Indeed. Bring my goodwill with you. And find any goodwill that you can bring back with you.
I will.
We need to know if it's nothing but enemies out there.
I will find out for sure, but I believe that there are allies to be found.
Well, if you're going, you should go well armed. And you watch as the queen steps forward, unveiling the hilt of what you realize is your blade. It is almost bone white. And at the very bottom, in an ink black, you can see the silhouette art of what looks like a young elven apprentice of the order training in snowy mountains as they hold it out towards you.
My eyes get wide with excitement, having looked forward to this for many years, and I respectfully approach and take it.
Do you activate it?
I do.
You watch as a blade in the make, shape, and size of your choosing flashes forth in radiant, deep royal blue arcane energy.
I grin and can't help but let out a bit of a whoop as I step back and kind of take a flourish with the the energy scimitar before I look around and at the king and queen and Avelios and kind of bashfully turn it back off and put it on my belt.
As we pull away, we watch as you sit down to a meal with Avelos and the king and queen to enjoy yourself on your last night on the island. We come back to the belly of our rickety old ship as we cut across your character, Dave. Would you like to describe what we see?
You see a short for an elf, pale, extremely pale, extremely white hair, wearing a set of well-maintained but clearly well-used leather armor over seafoam green robes. He is very clearly hoping that the robes will hide that he is stick thin under those, and equally clearly hoping that that nobody notices that despite his best efforts to row the same as everybody else, he is not giving any help. He's really trying.
Almost
really
more
trying.
of a hindrance.
He's really trying, but he is too weak to be of any real help.
As we see this, we cut to a scene in what you're sure can be a comfortable elven home in what is probably a noble family's residence. We see. Oh, also your character's name and class and stuff. Sorry.
Oh yeah, that thing. My character's name is Donal Eros, and he is a wood elf druid.
And we see Donal standing there with who we can understand to be both his mother, his father, and one of probably an older brother. As your father says to you, son, not everyone can serve in the way that you wish to, but your contributions to Elven society do
My
not have to
contribution
come
to
from a specific.
Elven society is my duty, Father. That's all that matters. And my duty is...
Your
Maybe-
brother speaks up and says, just because you do not excel at wielding a sword or riding armored with lance or show much marksmanship with the bow, there are different ways to serve. Your healing touch is a gift from the gods. Ask any battlefield commander. The most important member of their company is the healer.
What healing touch exactly?
Just a proficiency in medicine.
Oh, okay.
Nothing magical. Just like a battlefield medic. Yeah.
I was like, what?
Nothing magical. Just like
Okay.
the term timed.
Read that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's not what I'm meant to be. I that's not what I want. That's not...
Your mother chimes in and says, "What we want and what is are not always the same thing, and we need to learn to accept these things."
Well, I don't think I can do that, Mother.
You have so many other gifts. Why can you not embrace them?
Because I know inside what I was born to be and what I was born to do. And it wasn't to sit behind a desk and work logistics or stand in the back and watch other people die. It was to stand and fight against, hand to hand, against those who would try and kill us.
With that, the scene fades to black and comes back up again with Domhnall in armor, kind of hunched over, with clearly a practice sword, still made of metal but blunted, that he's barely able to lift as he is sparring with another elven youth who's also armored up. One of your younger brothers, Domhnall. First roll of the campaign. Domhnall, make a strength-based melee attack.
Da-da-dun.
This ought to be good.
Hey.
I roll 5.
You swing as your younger brother raises his shield, and that sting from the vibration runs up your wrist as you drop it and start shaking your hand as he laughs and says, maybe we should have started with wooden staves. And as you're shaking your hand, you watch as there's this almost like orange spark of energy that flings from your hand. And you begin to hear your brother scream as you watch as the armor he's wearing turns red hot.
What? Damien! I go over and I start, like, trying to rip the armor off of him.
You reach down and it scalds your hands and you're unable to, you have to pull away. You just don't have the pain tolerance to keep going. He stands up and runs into the woods, disappearing, as you're standing there dumbfounded with your burnt hands.
Oh, what just happened? Help!
You hear a voice. And as we cut to look where you turn your head, you see a bush, just a shrub, kind of shake as it says, "Did I hear you asking for help?" And we fade to black and come back to the belly of the ship, where we see Flint's character for the first time. Flint,
Okay.
would you like to tell us what we see?
Yeah. So you see a
I think you're muted.
Oh shit. Yeah. So you see a sort of gray-skinned woman in what seems to be more desert type clothing or like linens type situation with studded leather armor, a sort of scarf around her neck, looking as if like it's got a cowl for it, and would be covering this sort of dark red hair that's kind of spiky, pulled back a bit with like one little bit of bang at the front. The rest goes back to like just past shoulder level. Got these sort of fire orange eyes and two tiefling style horns that kind of go at a curve up, out and then back in, and seem to almost be made of this sort of like fire opal type texture, or a black opal type texture. She's got the tail looks a bit like barbed harpoon in the end, and is sort of like wrapped towards the top in just some like extra linen cloth. And she's just kind of like trying not to look around and just kind of going through the motions, and just after a while of just listening to the two bicker over in the corner, just being like, noisy. But that's basically it. Just very terse, very like hyper like stoic faced, and trying not to think about them being noisy as she's trying to figure out what's going on and what to do.
With that, we cut to what looks like the middle of a camel caravan. And we see what is also your character's name.
Oh,
and
yes,
class.
right. This is a Melano Sideris, and she is a rogue.
We cut to what is clearly a much younger Mel, in and amongst this traveling caravan, camel caravan, that goes along a sandy beach across the sea to her right-hand side. We watch as she kind of darts around to all what look like all these haughty, rich merchants riding in like those things that like the people have to carry on their shoulders, kind of thing. And her tail and her hand kind of rolling around with this expertise, kind of darting into little gaps for air, and pulling out all these little trinkets, until eventually she comes running back up to an older gentleman, deep mocha carameled skin, with very white hair, with a goatee that comes down to a point, and a very flamboyant and well manicured mustache, with like a turban on the head, with the wrap around to help protect from the sunlight. Acheron, Mel. As you come running up with a big smile on your face, he says, "You're getting better."
Certainly trying, Papa.
Remember, and he points down to your fingers where you have some of the rings that you just picked on. He says, "Anything that can create drag or get caught on fabric is not something that we want."
Okay, I'll remember next time, but it was very pretty.
I understand it is. But we can enjoy it in other ways and turn it into other things.
Fair enough. And Jill kind of sneak it like
hold
into his hand. Yeah.
He holds out like a little sack for you to drop everything
Mhm.
into. As he tucks it back away, and he says, and he kind of nods his head over towards a much larger camel-drawn carriage with all sorts of elaborate like carving, and looks like almost maybe some like gold trim to some of the design work and stuff, and says, that should keep you busy for the next 30 minutes or so.
Just kind of like half grins at him, then just sneaks away.
We cut from there to a dark jungle with the sounds of nocturnal animals and insects in the background. We can see silhouettes from the light inside of a canvas tent. As we cut to the inside, we see a much closer to their current age Mel, kind of standing off to one corner as she listens to what look to be higher ranking military officers in a similar uniform to the one she wears, bickering back and forth, as we can see what is probably the highest ranking official at the table kind of step forward and says, we're surrounded on all sides and we have too many wounded to make an attack to try and break their lines and get back to the city. It's unfortunate these that we can't, and if I could only devise these savages disorganized to all hell, if we could just figure out a way to kill their leader, they might break and leave us an opening to retreat. And he kind of rests his fists, leaning over heavy on the table in a frustrated, shoulders slumped position.
Thinking it over and like, give me a night.
I'm sorry, what? Who are you?
Sedaris.
Oh,
Just give me
right,
a night.
To do what?
Cut off the head of the snake.
Kind of looks you up and down,
What do you have to lose?
considering. Fair point. All right. We cut to the morning. As the camp is beginning to rouse, we see Mel walking into camp, holding by the braid a severed orc head. As you can see, the commander kind of comes out of their canvas tent and kind of sees you kind of dumbstruck as you come strolling back in, and he just kind of walks up to you with his mouth agape, doesn't really say anything.
What are you waiting for? Let's go.
With that, we cut back to the belly of the ship. As we come back to the belly of our ship, we see the 5 individuals being brought up to the deck to scrub it. The moment that you have all been waiting for the better part of a week to spring your plan.
Oh shit.
As you look around at the dwarves running the ship with a familiar brand in one eye for each and every one of them, do all of you remember my mechanics for heist points?
The fuck are those?
So
it's been
I think
so
we only
long.
had-
and you all have one heist point.
Oh, right.
In any good heist movie like Ocean's 11, there's a moment where they pull something off and you're like, how the hell did they do that? And suddenly there's a flashback to them preparing for this exact eventuality, and being ready for it. And essentially, narratively, you have one of those to explain any sort of thing. So you are all now on the deck of the ship, manacled and chained still, both your ankles together and your wrists together, and you are at separate points on the ship with two other individuals um, that have been on the ship that came onto the ship the same time Mel did. A female, quite attractive, very like a raven-haired Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson, and this super scrawny, even giving Domhnall a run for his money in the scrawniness department. But is probably an 18-year-old kid, but looks like he might be 16. Who looks like pretty pale and probably spends the majority of his time with a nose in a book. As you guys are up on the deck, scrubbing the deck, um, you look over Artanis up at the steering, where the steering wheel is, to where the captain is, and you can see the familiar bone white wooden hilt of what would look like the hilt of a sword tucked in his belt.
Huh. And where exactly are we on the deck?
As you see your characters' tokens.
Oh, I need to zoom out. Hmm. So I will the the keys to our manacles. Like, is it just one person that has a set of those, or and if so, where's that person
Would you
tending
like to use your heist point for that?
I mean, hopefully, I would have, without a heist point, been able to tell who's been unlocking our cuffs.
Well, I was saying you could take it even further with a heist point if you wanted to. Or you can just ask, and I'll say roll a perception check.
Um, I will roll a perception check for
First real roll of the night.
now.
Oh,
Oh,
oh
are-
no.
You are level 2.
We
And
are
completely
some exceptional
unaware.
Level
definitely-
2.
You know that there's one ring of keys, but it changes hands quite a bit because there's different like shifts and stuff.
gotcha. Okay. I will continue to scrub the deck for now and see what.
By the way, just real quick, so you guys are aware, I'm going to switch the map back to the world map here. You guys would know and have been able to figure out, especially with the sailors in your group, that you guys are you are on the Sun Sea, like right there.
I had to go get that last piece of treasure. And we're all the way fucked down in bumfuck nowhere. Super far away from home.
Just so
Actually,
that you have that info.
yeah, I think I'm done for now.
All right. Anybody else? What are you guys up to? You guys are all you're looking around. The guards are watching you as they usually do. This is not the first time they've had you up to swab the deck. You're all down on your hands and knees with a bucket and a brush. Some of you are on your feet. Artanis and the two other individuals over here are scrubbing the railings. You're all chained up though. The guards are paying attention, but not really. Like they're also having their own conversations.
Do we got a strong wind going?
There is. There's a slight chill in the air. It's January 1st. The new year has just started. But you guys are pretty far south in the Sun Sea, so it doesn't get too cold. It's probably in like Fahrenheit wise for those of you, it's probably in the high 60s.
Ooh, all right. I'm pretty close to like the mast. So, is there any way that I could?
Yeah.
That I could like unwound the main sail knot and kind of just send it adrift, trying to give a little bit of a distraction.
If you want to use a heist point, I'll let you do that without having to roll for it. and I'll let you spring that at any moment you want. It doesn't have to be right away. It can happen whenever you want it to happen.
All right, I'll keep that in the back of my mind. I'll work myself a little bit backwards towards the mass though, as like a. I'll start scrubbing over here.
Scrubbing yourself that way.
Yeah, I'm scrubbing myself into position.
Make a deception check. Or I'll say you can make it stealth if you want, if you prefer. You can make it a physical stealth thing. 15. Yeah, you kind of use the, make it look like you're just getting into that real good groove where the mast meets the deck of the ship, you know? You don't want, stuff gets built up in there and you want to get that real good.
How are you doing? Thank you so much for the months.
But you do not appear to be drawing any extra.
Real crusty right here.
Question. Could I heist point to set something up to steal the manacle keys?
You certainly could.
Okay.
You gotta be a little more specific. You basically, it's a narrative thing. Basically, you're like, we flash back and you see this. Like, you don't even have to roll for it. That's how powerful this is. It's like, I stashed, I was able to pick, find a loose piece of metal and sharpen it and stash it in between these two floorboards, and now I have a makeshift dagger or some shit. Like that's how powerful it can be. Like, it's, so yeah.
Well, I don't think it would be exceptionally helpful for me to have a dagger, but just an example. Yes. I will heist point to. Can I heist point to set myself near whoever has the keys to the manacles when we are here? Absolutely. And I would like to.
We'll say it's this guy right here.
Sure. And as I check to make sure I can do this without material stuff, I totally can. Dope. I would like to try and snag the keys off of him.
And with a heist point, you don't even have to roll, because you've set this up in a way that when you want it to happen, it happens.
Okay.
Like you've been building a rapport with this guy over the last week or something, to the point where you're able to get close to him without him knowing, and if you bump into him, he's not gonna like beat you to shit, because you've been kind of like, he's stupid anyway, so you do like little magic tricks and it makes him laugh, and so you're able to, at any point that you trigger it, you bump into him and you will have the manacle keys in your hand.
Awesome.
Without him being aware of it. Unless there's other crazy combat shit going on when it happens. At that point,
cool,
you're aware of it. But yeah.
Could I use my heist point to say that I've gotten a good sense for how the mechanism for the dropping the anchor works?
Sure.
Where when I get a sense that a good distraction would be warranted, I could easily mage hand or something, drop the anchor, and draw their attention.
Absolutely.
Could I actually assist in that and be the distraction? Because I've been trying to sit here and think, like, what could I possibly do? And the only thing I can think of is be a distraction, and like, kind of once I get over to like, kind of mop around and get to here, just like double clothesline these guys onto the ground.
Like when you hear the anchor drop, you just try to double clothesline those guys?
Or kind of like I'm looking at what he's doing, and I'm like, okay.
Well, you guys could have planned. That's the whole thing with this. You could have planned it beforehand. You could have just like had like when like in moments when you guys were near each other, you could have been like, okay, when I do this, that triggers this, and you do that.
All right, yeah. So I'll say that my heist point is I tell everybody that I'll be the distraction, and when I clothesline these two, everybody do what you want to do, and they'll be focused on me rather.
All right, so you'll draw. You're going to use your heist point at the beginning, try and pull as much aggro as possible, essentially.
Yeah, and I'll rage so that I won't take as much damage, depending
Yeah.
on how bad they beat me.
Okay.
So just so that everybody's able to actually
Okay, so
get
that's
either
yours.
advantage or nobody's looking at them when they're doing it.
That's yours. That's Domhnall's. That's Artanis's.
Um,
Val and Mel.
huh. This is curious.
Ladies.
I was kind of pulling off of what you were talking. I'm kind of curious about using my heist point to do. Can I flavor it that there are like spirits of dead sailors on the ship that could tell me where like they left some kind of like either
Absolutely.
a dagger or like some kind of metal like in a belaying pin or something like that on the deck, that or where they might have stored something or where something could be stored to
Yeah.
grab.
They tell you there's one of the rungs to climb the mast that you're nearest to broke a long time ago, so somebody just hammered a piton in there. And so there's
Perfect.
like a climbing piton in there that's that's sharp enough to act like a dagger.
Sweet. Then I will go for that once we spring this. And
It's literally, and it's right in that mast right next to you.
yep. And she'll try to kind of sneak it into like
You could say, we could say right now that you've already snuck it into your little fancy sheath thing.
Okay.
If you're gonna use the heist point for it,
Okay.
like you've already yanked it out of the log, and it's not, it's a makeshift one of
Yeah,
your
yeah.
devices,
Mhm.
like based on the materials that you kind of using your, you're kind of using your manacles a little bit to hide it and stuff. But yeah, you've already got it on you.
Okay.
One other thing, obviously not a heist point kind of thing, but if I could, I'd like to essentially, when this guy is maybe not, these guys are not paying so much attention to me, maybe they've wandered off or something. I would essentially, when people seem ready to do something,
My girl sees dead
cast
people.
a fog cloud around this part of the ship, so it's kind of as the ship moves forward, it's kind of drifting into the fog
Does that
cloud.
require material components?
It does not.
Okay. So yes, you could do that at a trigger that you have predetermined or whatever. All right, Val, anything from you?
Yeah, sure. I
You
guess
can
I'll.
save it. You can save it for like the middle of when the plan is going on if you want. It's
I
just
want to
if you
get.
wanna
I want to get armed. Do these guys have like a semblance of weapons on them? The two
Yeah.
guys speaking are specifically the ones above deck. The
Yeah.
like the guys by the captain.
These guys up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have light crossbows and hand axes.
Dope. All right, cool. So I'll use my heist point to just do the good old heave ho, and like once one of these guys goes down the stairs, whether it's this one or this one, like the top or bottom guy, I will just grab them by their belt, undo it, give them the old heave ho overboard, and just have a little bit of more armament because we are vastly
shit.
outweaponed. Yeah, I will use my heist point to take it their shit.
All right. All right. So you guys all exchanging glances, waiting for that moment to when you all look at Thorin. As Thorin, you kind of like scrub your way over to those two guys, and rage and just clothesline both of them, knocking them prone. That triggers you, Artanis, as you with your mage hand, you drop the anchor. It impacts something beneath you as you guys waited that were to be in the shallows for this, and the entire ship catches and it like lurches. And I'm gonna have so you all knew it was coming and were already down on your hands and knees prepare for it. I'm gonna make dexterity saves for all of the rest of the guys to see if they get knocked prone.
Woo.
So that guy is prone. That guy is prone. What's your spell save DC, Artanis?
Man, it's not 20 anymore.
Oh no.
It's 13.
13. All right. This guy stays upright.
What?
This guy right here gets knocked prone. This guy right here stays upright. This guy right here gets knocked prone. This guy right here stays up. This guy right here falls prone down to the bottom of the stairs. That's your target, Ashlid. And this guy also falls, or it could be this guy who falls prone to the bottom of the stairs. You bump into your guy, Domhnall, and now have the keys in your hand.
Okay.
Oh, the big guy also gets knocked prone.
I mean, it may not be a 20 anymore, but it seems to have done a pretty good job.
Yeah.
And with that, I'm gonna need everybody to roll initiative.
Heyo.
I forgot we could use real dice. I was
real
so excited to
Real
roll.
dice. Real dice. Whoop.
Finally rolled a good initiative. Ah, Domhnall is very dexy. Very
I'm
dexy
fast
indeed.
as fuck, boy.
Hey.
Yes, he hasn't died. Fast as fuck, boy.
Alrighty.
Like already.
Ooh, baby. I rolled a natural 20. So
Good for you, Bill. Next week, new characters, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Last time
25 to 20.
Dirty 20, Donal.
Dirty 20, Thorin.
Nobody else in there? 20 to 15.
15 for Mel.
Uh, 15 to 10. 10 to 5.
I got an 8.
Got a
4 or 5.
dirty 7.
Dirty 7.
Wait,
Wait, who got a 7? Wait, so Val, you got a what? An 8?
An 8, yes.
Val got an 8, and Artanis
Got a 7.
got a 7. Anybody below that? No, that's everybody, right? Yeah.
Val, what is your
Wait, I gotta
dex?
roll
Except for Black Widow and
Yeah, I gotta roll for that. Hold on.
the Princeling.
Hold on. I gotta get there.
Val, what's your dex?
That's not even the princeling.
Are you sure? I was thinking of dubbing him until I got a name for him, the Twink.
Yeah, there you go. We already have the princeling.
Here. That's him.
There he is.
He's definitely a Princeling. Look at that motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
He's a Twink.
Yeah.
A Twink.
And then,
Prince Twink. Prince Twink.
Save all the good nicknames for
Nope, sorry.
our companions.
And
Thorin.
this is Izume.
So they're on our side. Got it.
You would assume so, seeing as how they are also captured. All right, so she got a 6. Oh no, wait, that's gotta be. Yeah. All right. The captain up here is going to use half of his movement to stand. And then he is going to try and right the ship. He succeeds at doing that. And he's going to take out. He's going to yell out across the decks. He says, "Subdue that dwarf!" As he points to Thorin, and says, "Somebody," and starts shouting out orders of, like, attack him, subdue them, get the anchor up, blah blah blah. That brings us to Domhnall and then Thorin.
All right. What is it to unlock manacles with the keys?
Yours are already part of your heist point. Yours are already done. Off.
Yep.
Your manacles are off. Yep.
What would it be to unlock somebody else's?
It would be. I'd say it's an action.
Well,
Yeah, you
then...
got both your feet ones and your hand ones off.
Oh, right. We have hand and
Those
feet.
of you who have the feet ones on are at half speed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go. Thorin seems just fine where he is, in the grand tradition of barbarians.
He's holding a mop.
Of course.
Your feet are barely dangling.
He's gonna go. Who would we have set up to have him get free first if we were talking about this, I guess? Fuck it. He's gonna go for Mel.
All right. Are you disengaging?
No.
All right.
need
So he's
to
going to make an attack of opportunity against you.
Disadvantage because he's prone, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Does that give him disadvantage?
Yep.
Pretty sure it only gives you advantage to hit them.
Mm-hmm. Creature has disadvantage on attacks.
Oh, yeah. All right. Sweet. Well, it rolled a 9 on the first one anyway.
Well, that won't hit me.
Yeah. So regardless,
Yeah.
it swings out with its hand axe and misses.
He will be fast as fuck to run over there and undo hand and feet manacles for Mel. All right. Now for the feet, and there you go.
It's gonna give him a nod.
Hope you got that sharp thing you were looking for, eh? And he's going to duck
So
behind.
Canadian.
He's gonna duck behind the mast and call it and start muttering under his breath. Naru, are you here?
You hear familiar voices that say, "Stop drawing attention to us."
You've been hiding under my robe for the last week.
Yeah, have you seen what's going on out there?
Yes, I'm living it.
Yeah, better you than me. Thorin, what are you doing?
Well, I'm still tied, and there's people below me, so I'm going to. So I don't have my weapon, but are there any weapons on them that I to have knocked loose?
Not that they've knocked loose, but they do have hand axes in their belts and light crossbows.
Would it be an action to take one of those hand axes?
It would be essentially a opposed grapple check to try and take it from them.
Yeah, I'll try and take an axe.
All right, make an athletics check, and they are going to make one as well.
would it be at advantage since I am
Raging?
since they are
Yes.
prone?
Yes. Well, you'd be advantage because you're raging. Because you have
Sweet.
advantage on strength checks and saving throws when you're raging.
So this is athletics. Or
Bill,
is
quick
this strength?
question.
Yes.
Would my fog cloud have gone off like a held action, or does that go on my initiative?
It'll happen right before your initiative. It's not going to affect your turn
Okay.
because you had to do the mage hand first, and then then each one takes 6 seconds. So,
Oh wait, do I have a mop?
you have a brush.
So is it kind of like
It's like a wooden. It's like got the hard bristles on it, and there's like a big wooden, like it's a big two-handed wooden brush.
oh,
Bludgeoning.
okay. I'm gonna just use that since I have that. I thought I didn't
You're
have
just gonna
it.
hit him with that.
Yeah, I mean
Bludgeoning
I have
implement.
it.
All
I'm
right,
just gonna-
so make an attack roll. Make a strength-based attack roll.
And since they're prone, do I get advantage?
Advantage. Yep.
Okay, definitely need that advantage. Let's see. So it's just my strength plus proficiency, which is
Come on.
it is 17.
17 definitely hits. So roll a d4 and add your strength and rage modifiers.
8 points of damage.
Roll. So you just crack him right across the head with this huge brush as you watch suds go flying. Suddy soap suds go flying across the deck. Roll a d6 and tell me what you get.
A 1.
The brush breaks and it is no longer viable as a weapon. But you do 8 points of damage to him, and he is bleeding profusely from his temple, but he is still alive.
I will kind of just look at him like maniacal with the scariest like smile on my face.
Mel, does that end your turn, Thorin?
Yeah, I'm not going nowhere. Target rich environment.
Mel.
All right. So weapons and stuff we would assume are back by the captain, right? That chest.
You know that for a fact. All your
Okay.
stuff is in that chest.
Okay, so she's gonna start heading that way.
Except for that sword hilt without the blade, which is in his belt.
Okay. So she's gonna start heading that way. She's gonna basically cunning action dash to get over to this down guy. Basically flips out the dagger or the piece of
The shiv.
the piton from that and just slam down and like try to go for the jugular.
Yeah, make your attack roll with advantage because he's prone. And if you hit, you get sneak attack.
Oh yeah. So that is 19? If that's considered a dagger for this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's same damage as a dagger, yes.
Sweet.
Or same properties as a dagger.
Okay.
So D4 plus your sneak attack damage plus your modifier.
Sneak attack die finally. Yes.
Whoop.
Woo. Okay. So
Maidens die. Maidens die.
that's 12 total.
12 damage?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you stab him right in the jugular, and he just grabs his throat and bleeds out in a matter of seconds.
Sweet. And then we'll use my movement to. So I was there. So that's 5. I still have another 25. I'm going to go. basically. Hmm. 5, 10, 15. Yeah, it'd still work. Ah, you know what? I'm gonna go over by.
Val?
Yeah, over by Val.
Valley Val. How mad would Val be if we called her a Valley girl?
That ends your turn, Mel?
Yes.
Alright, that brings us to the crew. This guy is gonna come right over here. This guy is gonna come running over here. These guys are gonna stand. This guy is gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20. He's gonna go right there. This guy stands and goes right there, or right there.
Okay, rogues, I get to use my maiden's dice now. I'm so happy I get
This
to use
guy
my band dice.
stands.
They roll very well too. Bill was fucking using one against me the entire last
He's
campaign
gonna
just because I
go
gifted
back
him
to
one
the
I
top
shouldn't have.
here and pull out a
Payback's a
crossbow.
bitch.
And this guy stands. All right. This guy is going to attempt to grapple you, Artanis. So you can make an athletics or acrobatics check, your choice.
Let's do that. I'm rolling really well.
Oh.
You can use real dice. All you gotta do is turn on your camera. So he rolled a 3. So
Hey!
he rolled a natural 2 plus 1. He rolled a 3.
The heart of the
you are
dice
able
is in your
to duck
favor.
out of the way as he grapples for you, trying to subdue you and follow the orders of his captain. This one right here is going to do the same thing against you, Val.
Does my heist point
Level
go
2.
off before he does that?
Level 2.
Yes.
Giving him the old heave ho as he fell
Well,
down.
Well, you already first you have to grab his weapons, so you've grabbed his weapons.
Oh,
and then at
okay.
the beginning of your turn, before you actually go, that
Got
will happen. But for now, he's trying to grapple you.
All right, cool.
So go ahead and you can make athletics or acrobatics check, your choice.
Athletics, definitely. 19.
He rolled a 9, so you are able to wriggle free. This guy right here is going to fire his crossbow at Thorin.
Yay.
Pretty sure that misses. That's a 10 to hit.
Miss.
And then all those guys around you are going to take out their hand axes as the captain says, "Kill that one," for raising a hand to us. And they're all going to attack you with hand axes. 16 to hit.
Hits.
You take 5 points of slashing damage.
What's that halved?
2.
Sir.
You always round down. The next one also hits for another 6 points of damage.
Okay.
And 3 more. Pretty sure a 10 misses you.
Misses.
Natural 1 misses. And a natural 18, that'll hit. And you take an additional 5. So reduce down to 2. So it's 2, 2, and 3. As they all start cutting into you, and you hear the voice. It says, "Let me out. You won't be able to escape without me." That brings us to That's all the crew. That brings us to Ismay. Ismay is going to turn to Bulbous and say, take cover. And oh, that's not what I want. I want this one. And then she is going to fire. She's going to move 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh, wait. No, that's it. She can only go 5, 10, 15. She will bonus action dash 5, 10, 15, and turn to you, Domhnall, and say, get me out of these chains. And then she will turn and try to firebolt this guy right here. Which hits for 10 points of fire damage. Hey now. Which is enough to incinerate that guy's skull. And she turns back to you, Domhnall, as there's still a little bit of smoke coming off of her hands, and says, and she holds out her manacles towards you. Val.
All right. So I have a hand axe. I have 2 hand axes. What's my hand axe situation
You
looking
have
like?
a hand axe and a light crossbow and 20 bolts.
Oh, that's great.
Hey Siri, lights on.
I'm gonna hit this.
Well, first things first. Make a athletics check.
Okay. 19 again.
Total of 19.
Total 19. Yeah.
He rolled an 18. He goes off the side.
I just look up towards the captain. He goes, in Dwarven, I say, it appears you have a mutiny on your hand. I'll give, because I don't know the individual behind me has a weapon, so I will just pass the individual behind me a crossbow. And then I will go running after my brother at half speed.
As she's holding a
Okay.
baton.
So you can get 15 feet.
Okay. I'll take the crossbow, but is there anything to... Is there
And
any
if you want
bolts?
to dash, use your action to dash, you can get another 15.
Are there any bolts with that crossbow? Because that's kind of...
20 of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
20 of them right there.
I mean, I could bludgeon somebody with a crossbow.
Oh,
but...
also, Flint, roll a d10 for me.
Okay.
I'm just doing bunny
5.
hops over there with a hand axe.
5. All right. The piton is still usable as a dagger.
Okay.
I'll end my turn there.
All right. That brings us to Artanis.
So my fog cloud goes off first
Yep,
of
your
all.
fog cloud goes off. Where were you centering it on yourself or?
Yeah, roughly. Like, kind of my thought was
20-foot radius, right?
Yeah.
You can move him around while I give you fog cloud stuff.
I was thinking it would start here at the prow of the ship, and then, as the ship continues to move forward, it's just the whole thing is moving.
Basically, it's gonna move 30 feet that way every turn, starting on your next turn.
And then, bonus action, I will activate my blade song.
Can you do that without a blade?
Yep, it's just a state of mind, I guess.
Sweet.
Um,
If you weren't inside a fog cloud, what would that look like for Artanis?
I just kind of practically, I kind of get up on the, on my toes, so to speak, kind of get more agile and limber, moving around a bit more naturally and gracefully. Yeah, there we go.
Feet. Yeah.
And internally, I'm just kind of going into the zone where it's like lots of reflexive action and rickrolling myself.
Sorry, rickrolling yourself.
Rickrolling
I'm
yourself.
sorry, what?
Yep.
All right. So that's your bonus action.
Pick you up, never gonna let you down.
What?
Anyway, that's your action or your bonus action.
And I, at half speed, now that I'm blade songed, should be able to get here.
Just peek out. You can kind of stick your head out of the fog cloud.
Awesome. Well, with that, I would like to toss a ray of frost, just at the guy closest to me, I suppose.
All right.
Come on.
An 8 unfortunately misses.
I'm not
I'm so
rolling
sorry for
D8
you.
now.
I love that
Turn
the
your
Bureau
camera on,
curse.
roll real
I
dice.
love that the Bureau curse followed your other character. That's really, really cool, man. I didn't know what kind of shill you are for Roll20 to make that happen, but it's really cool.
That brings us to Bulbous. Bulbous is going to use a bonus action to cast Expeditious Retreat on himself. And then he is going to move 5, 10, 15, 20 toward, or 5, 10, 15 towards the fog cloud. And then use his action to and he's then you hear him you hear a very high-pitched shriek, and then he uses his action to take the dodge action.
Oh goodness.
Top of the order is the captain, who now that he's recovered, he and has the steering wheel in hand and looking out at what's going on around him. He is going to take out a heavy crossbow, and he uses the wheel to balance it, and he fires it at Val.
That's fair.
That is a 19 to hit.
That will hit.
You suffer 6 points of piercing damage as you get drilled in the back of your shoulder with a heavy crossbow bolt. You turn around and look at the clanless filth as he's reloading the crossbow.
I spit on the boat.
Winks at you with his one good eye. Domhnall, you're up. You are inside a fog cloud.
Well, to the woman who just came up to me and asked for me to get her free, I will toss her the keys. I have to go. I never thought I'd say this. Go help a dwarf. Do it
Hey.
yourself. And because I can't see inside of this fog cloud, I am going to 15 feet of movement to scoot out to just next to the screeching twink. I will mutter something in Sylvan under my breath to Naru and Kalen, and a red will-o'-the-wisp streaks out from under his robes and settles just under Thorn's feet as he casts Entangle.
Ooh.
Hmm.
What kind of saves are? Can you pop that in there for
That
me?
is a strength save for everybody in
All the peoples.
Hey.
all the people.
We'll start with this guy right there.
Mhm.
That is
You
a
mind if
50.
I just that will succeed. You mind if I just draw where it is?
Feel free. We'll go to this guy right here. That is a natural 2, so he
Well,
is
He is
entangled
restrained.
or is restrained. That's totally what I said.
Toads.
Oh, entangled, restrained, samesies. We'll use this as that symbol. Next guy also fails.
So Thorin has to make this too.
Guy also fails. Oops. Last guy right there. A 12.
That will fail. My DC is a
Also
14.
Boom. There
I
you go.
need Thorin to make it as well.
Thorn strength save, I believe it is. Yeah.
Yes,
Yep.
You have
with
advantage.
because
You
you
have
have
advantage. Rage.
because you're raging.
That
figured this is
is
probably-
21.
Yeah,
Hey.
I figured this would probably be easy to make for you. Everything in that area as well is difficult terrain.
Alrighty.
And then, sorry, I will bonus action to mutter something else in Sylvan and spray some green and shoot some green light at Thorin. So I will use Balm of the Summer Court on you. You will pick up 6 points of healing and 1 temporary hit point.
Ooh.
Nice.
Nice. Does that end your turn, Domino?
No, I still have 30 feet of movement.
Okay. That's right. I forgot you're the Flash.
I'm fast as fuck, boy.
Hey.
Fast as fuck, boy.
That's,
So I will
Hermes is
scatter
cool.
to I will scatter to over here.
Hermes
And I will
is cool.
mutter,
You know?
I will mutter to the two like will-o-wisps as they return under my robe. Do you really have to be under my robe? It's really uncomfortable. But thanks, I guess.
They say you get a response that says, "Look, man, if you want, to be able to keep helping people like this, we need to stay around. And the safest place is under your robe. So, take care of the danger, and then we'll come out." Thorin, you're up. Thorin, what did you get on your save, by the way? Did you save?
21. Yes,
21.
21.
No.
You're way good. All right, so there's 4
I'm
guys
strong
around
as
you.
fuck, boy.
There's 4 guys around you that are restrained, and 1 that is not.
So target rich environment. Got it. Which one did I hit with the
The one directly to your right.
Okay. I would like to grab him with my hands, and I would like to, as hard as I can, recklessly headbutt the fuck out of him until
Well,
he
he's
dies.
restrained, so you would have advantage on it.
Yeah, you don't have to reckless even.
Then I'm just gonna do it until he dies. No
All right,
reckless.
make a melee attack then. Strength-based melee attack with advantage.
One was an 18, one was a 19.
Yeah, that hits. So it's 1 plus your strength modifier plus your rage modifier.
7.
7. You headbutt him right in the face, and his entire face just concaves, like gets, and he gets swallowed up by the entangling red vines.
Would I be able to find a hand axe that was on him?
With a bonus action, sure, you can grab his hand axe, and crossbow and stuff.
Perfect. Thank you. That will be my turn. I'll stay right there.
All right. At this point, you guys hear the eruption of water, almost like the splash of water, but in the opposite direction, as spraying up out of the water and landing on the deck, wielding an armor made out of coral and wielding a big trident. You watch as this Triton holds the trident up to his forehead, and you watch as a big ass shark comes up out of the water over by that guy that fell in and just eats him. And he gets dragged under the water.
Look at
Hell
Buddy.
yeah.
As he says, "Fear not, we are here to rescue you." On the opposite side of the ship, there's another splash, as coming erupting out of the water, a full-on mermaid with the tail on the bottom and everything, as she comes streaking up out over the water, landing onto the ship in mid-flight, casting some sort of spell on herself to transform her tail lower half into legs, and lands on the ship. And she
Hey Storm, how you doing? Looking like a snack.
is going to use some sorcery points to quicken spell. And she is going to
Oh yay. Yeah, people are so nice. Thank you all
throw
again.
and
Ninja
she
form.
is that. And the Triton gentleman, she's going to fire a first level guiding bolt.
Ooh.
At the big guy up here and hit
Woohoo.
for 9 points of radiant damage, and the next attack against him has advantage. And she says, "Fear not, land dwellers. We will dispatch these brigands momentarily." As she plants her trident into the ground as well. Mel, you're up.
Yeah. So basically what Mel gets is Val basically talking shit at the captain walking away. Then just like fucking Thorin going Galder, like probably like is he like the like rage type rage Thorin?
Yeah, it's a very
Yeah,
rage.
like Galder rage. There's like weird music coming from the back of the ship. There's like a lot of muttering, and then these people jump out and say, "Fear not!" And just Mel's just noisy, and she just takes the fucking crossbow that was given to her, but it's a bolt in, and fires at the captain.
All right, make your attack roll with advantage.
19.
19 just barely hits.
Thank you, advantage. And a
Roll
crossbow
damage with
is
sneak attack. It's a D8. Light crossbows is
D8.
a D8.
Woo woo. Sweet. Okay. 14.
Ooh, dang.
Oh yeah.
So that's 14 points of damage. So you drill him, and it pierces his armor deep into his torso. And as he pulls it out, you see a little pool of blood kind of splurt out. That's your action.
Yep. And then she's going to start moving down this way where hopefully they can't see because it's lower. Like underneath like
All right.
stairs, and then she's going to dash back over this way and try to hide.
All right. Make a stealth check.
Thank you, expertise. 21.
Nice. All right, that ends your turn.
Yes.
All right, that brings us to the crew. This guy right here is going to go 5, 10, 15, 20. He's going to charge in right down towards her and rolls a 19 to hit. And she gets hit. She takes 4 points of damage. And that ends his turn. All these guys in here are going to attack you again, Thorin. This time they have advantage because of your... Well, one of them has advantage because you were reckless. Or no, you weren't
No,
reckless.
he
You didn't have to be.
They all have
Aha.
disadvantage because they're restrained.
Well, one of them doesn't have disadvantage. But he rolls a natural 1. And then disadvantage for the other guys. Another natural 1. Another natural 1. That's 3 natural 1s in a row.
Oof.
Then a 9, which I'm pretty sure does not hit. So they all miss. And then at the end of their turn, do they get to try and save out of restrain? Or do they have to use an action?
Action to make a strength check.
Oh, okay. Well, they use their action to attack, so that doesn't work out for them. That brings us to Ismay, who's going to use her bonus action to get rid of her shackles. And then she's going to run over to here and get Bulbous out of his shackles using her action. And that will end her turn. Val, you're up.
Oh, that's me.
You hear her say, "Don't worry, my love. We'll be safe soon."
Right. I will take 2 hops this time. 1, 2.
Yep.
Because I'm still
2
chained
hops
up.
this time.
And I will roll to hit this guy with the hand axe.
All right.
Uh,
With advantage because he is restrained.
oh, okay. That's okay already. I'll take the first one, which would be a 16 to hit.
That definitely hits.
Ooh, okay.
D6 plus your strength modifier.
That is 5 points of slashing damage.
All right, you slash him across his back, and he yelps in pain.
Is there any way I could pull this bolt out of my back and then use that to also stab?
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Oh, that's not great. 11.
11. All right, so you're able to yank it out. You're able to deal with the pain enough to yank it out. However, in doing so,
Oh, no.
take an additional 5 points of damage. But you have it in your offhand.
Can I use it to stab him?
You can certainly try.
Cool. That is a... Oh, well, I guess it's an 11 on the dice. I don't know what I would add to it. Would it be dex or strength or...
You could use strength or dex for
14 total?
14 hits.
Okay. So it's a D4?
D4, like a dagger, yeah.
4. So it'd be 7 piercing damage, I guess, for this improvised
7?
dagger.
All right, you stab him in the neck, and he drops to the gets swallowed up by the red vines as well. Roll another D4 for me, just a straight D4.
3.
3. The bolt is still usable.
All right, great. I am now proficient, and I will take. That was only 10 feet, so I have one more. I have one more hop. So I hop one. I slide to the left, and
Okay.
I am my turn.
I should. That's not actually what you see there. It would be, but it is opened, and those are stairs going down.
Oh, okay. All right. So I You're saying I can't go
You
there.
can't stand there. I should have said that beforehand, but
All right. then,
it's like opened up. Like it normally is looks like that when it's closed up, but right now it's open. So.
then I will slide to the right.
Okay.
And that's it. I end my turn.
Artanis.
Slide to the left.
Before my fog cloud moves, hopefully I will.
Oh, that happens first, actually.
This mortal plane.
Thank you for reminding me. So it goes 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
All right. Well then, I think that actually limits what I can do, which is probably fine. Let me double check.
The next round, it's only going to go 25 because the anchor's dropped and the ship's starting to slow down.
Okay. Well then, I am going to. Yeah, that's probably better to do anyway. Dash over to the last place I saw Ismay.
Okay.
And say, little help with the manacles, please.
She kind of looks at you and turns back to kind of doting on Bulbous, but you can see he's reaching for the key, like drops the keys in front of you.
Okay. All right. And that is my turn.
All right. Bulbous is going to use his action. He's going to use his action to hide behind Ismay and use the dodge action. And then is going to scream, not scream, but is just going to loudly say, "I'm sure we can just talk about this. There's no reason for anybody to die." And that ends his turn. Bringing us back to the top of the order and the captain.
Oh, you sweet summer child.
Yeah.
Who is going to fire an arrow, a crossbow bolt at Domhnall.
Okay.
But that's only an 8 to hit, which I'm pretty sure misses.
Well,
So that ends that. Domhnall and Thorin, you're up. Domhnall, then Thorin.
okay. Donal can't heal Val like you wanted to because the fog cloud is covering you now. So I guess, is there anything immediately around that I could use as a club?
Blinking.
There you still have that big ass wooden brush from scrubbing the floors, I'll say.
Sure.
Shillelagh.
Yes, I would like to shillelagh it, please.
Shillelagh the brush.
Why not? You shillelagh the brush. It grows, and there is a big knotty end on one end that has all the bristles sticking out.
Hell yeah. And I'm going to scooch up to here and attempt to smack this pirate
All right.
with a double-handed shillelagh smack. And I know this says quarterstaff, but it's the same thing it would be for any shillelagh. For 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right.
I bonk him on the head.
You do indeed, and he is well bonked, but still alive. As the mermaid turns and looks at you and says, "Oh, well, hello."
Hi, hello.
Quite exciting, isn't it?
Yes. I didn't exactly want to wait to be liberated, if you know what I mean.
Sorry, we've been tracking you for several days. It took us a
Oh,
while.
no. Things take time.
That brings us to... is that the end of your turn?
I'm gonna maneuver around to the other side of him.
Okay. Thorin.
Target rich environment. I'm going to hit the farthest restrained away from.
This one?
Yes.
All right. You have advantage.
And that's with a hand axe, so that's strength.
Yep.
Okay. 23.
That definitely hits.
That is a D6 or a D8?
D6. Plus your modifiers.
9.
9 points of damage.
Yes, sir.
Oof. He has 1 hit point left.
You-
Mm,
Does that end your turn?
I'm trying to find a way that gives me one more hit point to hit him.
I don't think you have one.
I don't think I do either.
Level 2. Level 2.
Level 2.
I mean,
yeah.
there's other hand axe around on the ground. John, what were we doing? Checking all your spells?
That brings us.
non-existent spells.
That brings us to your watery companions. This guy over here is going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and is going to stab outward with his trident at the big guy there. Come on. He misses with a 10 because he does not have advantage currently. But it's deflected by the shield. As he says, as he shouts out, "Have at thee, villain!" This one right here is going to say, "Oh, you're really gross," at the dwarven pirate. And is
Damn.
going to. She is going to. She is going to. First. She's going. She's going to move and take the attack of opportunity and go there. He misses. She's going to cast Beacon of Hope on Domhnall, Bulbus, Val, Thorin, Ismay, and Artanis. And then she is going to Quicken Spell and cast a Sacred Flame at this guy. But he succeeds on his saving throw. So you guys, all magical healing you receive is max. You don't have to roll for it, it's just max. And you also have advantage on wisdom saving throws and death saving throws. Mel, you're up.
All right. So I was trying to hide. If I sneak back, can I fire another one of the captain up here
You
while he's
certainly
focused
can.
on that guy?
And he did not see you.
Yee. Okay.
Yee.
Oh. But that's just an 18, so nope.
That misses. Unfortunately, it is deflected by his shield.
So, welp. I guess I return to my hiding for now. as a bonus action.
Roll stealth.
Ooh. 23.
That's really good. That ends your turn. That brings us to the crew. This one is going to swing a hand axe at you, Domhnall.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure an 11 is going to miss you.
Yep.
And then these guys are all going to attack you more, Thorin. Well, this guy's going to attack you. The other two are going to try and get loose out of the restraint. So one guy attacks you, but misses. And then, so it's an athletics check, you said?
It's just a straight strength check.
Straight strength check, all right. The guy on top, or the guy right here, gets a 16.
That'll pass.
And that guy gets a 9. Which I'm pretty sure fails.
Yes, that fails.
All right, so that guy's able to get out of his restraint, but the other guy is not. Ending the crew's turn, bringing us to Ismay, who is going to move here while staying in a protective range of Bulbous and fire another firebolt at the guy engaged with you, Domhnall. That hits for another 10 points of damage. Hey, look at me having an NPC that's helpful and good at stuff. How about that?
Hey, all you gotta do is have an enemy with an AC of 13 for you to be useful, Bill.
Actually, they have an AC of 12, so.
That doesn't make it better.
So she incinerates his skull and returns to protecting Bulbous. And doting on him and kind of like rubbing his cheek and says, "It's gonna be okay. It's almost over. You're being so brave." And that brings us to Val.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna take 2 hops this time, and then one to the left to get back to back with my brother. And then I'm going to attack this motherfucker.
Right. He is
front.
not restrained, so
That is fine. That's probably not going to hit. I rolled a 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that is a 14 total.
you know their AC is 12, so yes,
Okay.
that hits.
All right, so that's 5. That's 8 damage,
Ooh,
and then
right.
and then for the bolt, I ripped out of my back.
All right.
That's a natural 20.
All right, so new rule for crits this campaign, guys. If you'll remember, I think I told some of you, it's not roll double the dice or roll the dice and double it. You get whatever the weapon's damage die is, you get max damage plus your modifiers, and then you roll an additional die and add that to it. So for this, it would be 4 plus whatever your modifier is, plus a d4.
All right. Well, I also rolled a 4 on the d4, so that's 8, 9, 11 points of damage.
11 points of damage. So you stab right up through underneath its chin, and it goes up into his brain. And this guy is no more. Go ahead and roll another d4 for me.
I rolled a 1.
The bolt breaks off inside of his skull and is no longer usable as a
That tracks.
weapon.
Can I pick up his other hand axe though?
With a bonus action on
No,
your next turn.
I didn't. Okay, cool. I'll do that next turn.
All right.
I'm done.
Then
Oh wait,
Artanis.
do I need to make a strength saving throw for being in the entanglement now that I entered it?
When you step into it, Domhnall?
Nope.
Nope.
No.
All right. It's just
Okay.
when you just when it gets cast.
Cool.
So Artanis.
I need to use an action to free myself, right? With the keys?
With the keys, yes.
Okay. So I will use my action to free myself. And
Both your leg and wrist constraints.
and the fog cloud moves.
That's right, thank you. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Okay. And then newly freed. I will move. I believe that's where I can move to. Oh, one more.
Yeah, it's your normal speed, so.
And my normal speed while blade singing is 40. And
Alright.
that is my turn.
Bulbous is going to look over at Ismay, and say, I feel like if I had the opportunity, I really could have reached them. Just a little bit more time, I think that we could have come to an amiable decision. And he watches as a crossbow bolt goes flying by and goes, "Oh my god!" And takes the dodge action with his action again. And we're back to the top of the order. The captain is going to move there and make 2 attacks against the fishman. That is a hit and a natural 20.
Ooh.
So
Damn, natural 20. I don't know if I want that for
ooh.
when he rolls it. Oh, I guess it isn't against an NPC.
And then the prince takes 2 big hits, but is still standing, but is looking bloodied, but looks up and says, "No matter what tricks you try, filth, you will be washed clean from my seas." Domhnall, you're up.
Okay. So I can't see Thorin or Val to heal them. I'm sorry, the fog cloud's in the way. But I can see the freaky fish guy.
Yep.
Freaky fish guy.
So the captain is probably focused on the Triton, right?
I mean, yeah.
And I'm probably familiar with what the bone white longsword or sword hilt on his belt is.
This is the first one you've ever seen.
Would I have heard about them?
Yeah, you've definitely heard stories about them. You've never actually been this close to one before, though.
Okay. Can I try and lift it off of his lift it off?
You can use your action to make a sleight of hand check.
Awesome. Yeesh.
I'm going to make a. He feels you and brings his shield down on the top of your hand, bruising it, and you have to pull it away.
Yeesh. Well, I tried. Now I will Balm of the Summer Court the Prince for healing and 1 temp HP.
Which prince?
Not the screaming one, the one who's actually
Fish prince.
Oh, okay.
The Triton.
It would be hilarious.
That would have been the best D&D ever if you were just like the guy who's screaming now you have temp HP. Relax.
Shut up.
You technically don't know that this is a prince or what their name is.
Sorry,
but it's fine. It's fine. I get that it's meta. But he looks at you and says, "My thanks, friend."
None required. Let's just get rid of him.
That is your turn.
Yep.
You're up.
Swing away on the restricted one.
The restrained one?
Yeah, that guy.
All right, make your attacks with advantage, or your attack with advantage. Level 2. I love it.
Level 2. Level 2. Level 2. Level 2.
Level
21.
21 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
10.
10. You embed the axe right into his forehead, and he falls to the ground dead. And you hear the voice again that says, "Yes, yes, embrace the anger."
Do it.
Mel, you're up.
All right.
Sorry, did you want to move or anything, Thorin?
Still a target-rich environment. Hell no.
All right, Mel.
Gonna try to stay low, trying to still use the big distraction up above to give her.
What did you roll for stealth before,
23.
by the way? 23. He does not appear to notice you.
Boom. Assassino. Ooh. 21. Woohoo.
That hits.
Booyah.
Roll damage.
Ooh. 13.
Nice. He takes this bolt to the knee and grunts again in pain, but is still up.
And we'll do as before. Return to her shadows.
Roll
And hide.
stealth and remember the number.
Yep. Oh, not so good that time.
That brings us to this guy, who is going to try and hit you again, Thorin. That is an 18 to hit. Pretty sure that hits you.
Yeah. So that's what the thumb up was.
For 9 points of damage on that one. So that's 4. And he is going to move away, attempt to move further into the to the fog so that you can't see him. Would you want to make an attack of opportunity?
Can there? Yeah.
Yeah. Make an attack.
These can't be reckless, can they?
No. You have to declare that to be for the first attack.
21.
Still hits. He has 1 hit point, so as he turns to run away, you just catch him in the back of his neck, and you hear it snap, and he falls, disappearing into the fog. Ismay is just going to stay there with Bulbous and use her action to shield him. Val.
I have fuck all I can do, so I'm just gonna hold my manacles out to Thorin. Just, brother, do you mind maybe breaking these off? And I'm gonna try to like, can I make a strength check to try to snap my hand manacles?
You can certainly try.
All right, cool.
Make a straight strength check.
Natural 1.
Oh.
As a matter of fact, you take a point of damage.
Nice.
And like sprain your wrist.
Ooh.
As a bonus action, I like to pick up that other hand axe.
Okay.
All right, I had my turn.
Artanis.
To toss the keys back in the direction of.
Oh wait, first things first. 5, 10,
Chafing damage.
15, 20. You get covered in fog, Mel.
Would it be a bonus action to toss the keys back to the dwarves?
Sure.
Okay. I will do that.
Okay.
And then make my way up here. Making my way. And I would like to use my action to attempt to mage hand retrieve my blade.
Sure. Make a sleight of hand check for your using an action to do so. I roll poorly in your favor again, and you are able to you hold your hand out like Luke in the Yeti cave.
Yes.
And the weapon hilt flies out of his belt and into your right hand.
And that ends my turn.
The blade appears. Bulbous is going to do the same thing he did last turn. The captain is going to turn and make 2 attacks against you, Domhnall.
Oh, great. Exactly what I wanted.
Natural 2 on the first one. That's a miss. And a 14 to hit.
That will just barely miss.
Oh, all right. So he misses twice.
Woo.
As he swings on you. You know what? He's going to use his special ability that he can do once per day, and he's going to try and shield bash you.
Wow.
And he gets a natural 20.
Oh,
Oh,
fuck.
I definitely don't care for that.
Oh, no.
Shield, relax.
You take...
34 points of damage.
Oh, shit. You take 25 points of damage.
Oh.
And I am down.
Oh,
Just so
fuck.
y'all know,
Down unconscious.
yeah, just so y'all know, that's my hit. My hit points are 25. Holy shit!
Holy shit.
Well,
fuck.
And I
You didn't
would have
just
said,
die, did you?
I rolled max damage, and he had a natural 20, so it was max damage plus a die, and I rolled another
Max fucking shit.
I know. It was literally the most amount of damage he could possibly do.
I only have 19 health, so...
I would have said you had to take a roll to not get knocked prone, but you're unconscious anyway. So that ends his turn. Domhnall, make a death saving throw. You have advantage on this, but the DC is 15, not 10.
Oh.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Ooh.
Advantage.
You have advantage.
Hey!
One success.
Whatever that spell is, we gotta learn it. We
Beacon
can
of
always
Hope.
have advantage.
Beacon
I
of
don't
Hope.
think
It's
any
a
of us
third level
can.
spell.
It's cleric
we need it.
exclusive.
Thorin, you're up. You're still chained up, but there's keys lying at your feet.
Skin of your teeth.
Thorin?
Thorin, it's you.
Sorry.
You are still chained up, but there are keys lying at your feet.
Guessing it's gonna be an action to unlock.
It is.
Well, hang on. Val asked me to cut the chain, right? Or did she just take care of it?
She
I've
did
hurt my
not take
shoulder.
care of it. She hurt her wrist, yeah.
In a rage, I will unlock both of us if I can do that.
You can do one of you.
I will unlock her.
All right, you pick up the keys and unlock your sister.
And then I will hold on to the keys. And I will go 5.
15 feet. All right. Mel, you are up. You are in fog.
Okay, great. Let's see. I want to make sure of something. Just within range. Okay, so that works. Yeah, in fog. And isn't quite sure how far it's stretching at the moment.
You cannot see your enemy.
Nope. So she's just going to, like, curse under her breath in Infernal and, think for a moment, kind of knows the general location of where he was from before. And I would like to, use thaumaturgy to cause, ominous whispers in that general area of, like, information that she's gotten from the spirits over the course of the days of, like, dead people, of stuff that he's done, or things that he'd recognize and that would scare him, that we shouldn't know about.
Make an intimidation check.
23.
All right.
Expertise.
Does that end your turn?
Bonus action. I will try to find my way to the stairs to get up out of this, hopefully. Or get
Okay.
closer.
All right. Val.
Do I need to perceive anything, or can I just head towards that?
No, you know where you're going.
All right.
I'd say,
And I
for the
will
most part.
just get up there. Okay.
If you're trying to do anything more complicated, I might make you roll for it. But
All right.
yeah.
I'm just gonna get up to there so I can see.
Oh yeah, the entangle fades. All right. Val, what are you doing?
I am going to dash 50 feet and get by the demon blood, and I will end my turn.
All right, Artanis.
How's the
You watch
captain
Domhnall.
looking?
You watch the only other elf on the ship with you, Domhnall, get cracked across the face with a shield. You think you almost hear the clacking sound of a couple teeth hitting the wood floor, and he's down and not getting up.
How's the captain looking?
He's looking hurt, but not. He's he's bloodied at least.
Do I need to be proficient in medicine to try to stabilize Donald?
No.
Okay. Then I will do that.
Make a DC 15 medicine check.
Well, I've been rolling super well.
Oh.
You are not successful.
Yeah.
Bro,
don't
just
worry.
switch to regular dice.
Don't worry.
That's your action.
The mermaid is cleric, I think, or some sort of divine person.
Well, that ends my turn.
Bulbous is going to do similar stuff. The captain is going to turn back to the fish man.
The fog cloud.
Oh, yeah.
Does that keep moving?
5, 10, 15. The captain is going to run over to here. The fish guy is going to take an attack of opportunity.
Spoopy whispers. Spoopy whispers.
And hit. And he is going to spend a second level spell slot to smite. So that's 9 plus another 12, so that's 21 points of damage. Still up. Just barely. And you guys hear a sploosh sound as he jumps off the side of the boat.
They're fucking clanless.
Domhnall, make a death save with
Oh, it's
advantage.
back to me already? Damn.
Yep.
Medic!
Hey! Hey!
That's another success.
I'll let the fog cloud disperse.
All right, you let the fog cloud disperse. Thorin.
Wait, there's still more baddies? Where are they? I don't see any.
All the crew is dead, and the captain. You heard a splash sound, but you didn't see him. He jumped off into the water.
All right, well, I'll unlock myself.
All right, you unlock yourself with your action. Your rage stops. Your rage ends.
Okay.
With a voice that says, "You're welcome."
Passive aggressive voices in your head.
That ends your turn, Thorn?
No, I'm gonna run up all the way up here. 5, 25. Now I end my.
All right. This guy's gonna step here, and he is going to.
Damn right, Kel.
He's going to
Lay them hands.
lay them hands.
Oh boy!
Hey!
You get 19 points of healing.
Damn.
Guys, I just realized the healer died.
Yep. And you are officially out of combat. You are officially out of combat.
Walk up, take a survey of things, and
Nice when we had 3 healers.
I will look up at the Triton and say, "Thank you for your aid."
Well, it is my pleasure. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Prince Vaglas Vadrath.
An honor. I am called Artanis.
The honor is mine. Conduct yourselves well, and not like this filth that is washed overboard. And you are always welcome on my seas.
Mel's
much obliged.
frustrated sigh when he hears he dunked himself overboard. And look towards the chest.
We had been tracking these brigands for several days, my betrothed and I.
Were they known to you?
We
Were you
are
following
familiar with their kind. People are charged with protection of the Sun Sea, as well as the Moon Sea. And we do not allow such villainy to go unpunished on our seas.
It is good to see that the seas are in the care of good people.
Aye, that they are.
Also been trying to like you have claim to the seas. That's quite odd.
Of course. It is
Val.
our domain.
Val, there are many
Much as
things
the
under the
land
sea.
is yours.
All right.
As said previously, you conduct yourselves well, and you are granted safe passage on my father's seas.
Who is your father?
You're not familiar with my father, King Runus?
I have never had the pleasure. No, like my deepest apologies. Also, just give just the most dumbfounded.
Your apology is accepted.
Would I be familiar with that name and the existence of an undersea?
Make a history check.
Hey!
Hey, nice.
19. You are familiar with the existence of the merfolk and the Tritons. You're familiar. You remember reading years ago about their royal lineage. The name King Runus does sound familiar. They are not oft seen above the surface. They, from what you've read, when encountered, both merfolk and Tritons are known to be honorable and friendly, but quick to anger if wronged. And they have their own conflicts with the Merrow and the Sahagwin, but their domain is the sea, much like, as far as your people understand it, their domain is the sea, much like yours is the land.
Gotcha. I've
The
had
reason that your
occasion.
people don't have too much of an issue with them is because they have no interest in the land and are content to stay in the sea. So they're of a kind of, your people have a live and let live kind of relationship with them.
Gotcha. I've had occasion to read perhaps a bit about your people, and I'm quite pleased to make your
How
acquaintance.
fortunate for you!
I agree. You seem as good as the tales tell. Know that you have a friend in me, should you need it.
I extend the heartfelt considerations, and he kind of plants a fist over his chest and bows slightly.
I attempt to replicate the gesture.
It's not that complicated, and you are able to do so. And he
Donald
kind of
does
nods,
the,
nods approvingly, stepping forward to give you like a Beastmaster kind of handshake,
I
and
take
slaps you on the shoulder with his offhand, probably a little harder than you'd like. Your hands come away, and as you get a closer look at his hands, they are finned, and you can see some gills in his neck flex.
Cool.
So it appears that you are no longer in need of rescuing, and are more than capable probably of steering this ship back to a place, some form of land that I'm sure you want to get back to. So if there's nothing else, my betrothed and I will depart.
Is their betrothed like, because you said it went from like mermaid tail to like legs? Are they
Yeah.
like full Pooh Bear going on?
No, her decoration that kind of fell down over her tail a bit conveniently conceals what needs to be concealed, though it is rather scantily clad.
Yeah. Also, is like using her hand to block and like, thank you for your assistance. It's been much appreciated, and your aid. Thank you for the rescue.
We are always happy to come to the rescue of those in need in our domain.
I would not intrude upon your time any further, but should you ever have the occasion to visit the elven people, I would be happy to extend a hand of friendship.
This would be agreeable. If the need arises, I shall seek you out.
Excellent.
How do you spell the king's name?
Yes.
You spell it Runnus. Runus.
Okay.
And the prince will walk over to the princess, give her a little kiss on the cheek as she smiles, as they kind of jump over the railing and back into beneath the water, and you watch as her legs transform yet again as they are mid-dive into the sea. As you all stand above deck, the ship now yours, and a locked chest with your possessions in front of you.
And we don't have the keys anymore because he jumped overboard.
Oh, if he didn't have the keys, I'm just gonna start chopping away.
You without too much trouble. You splinter the roof of the chest.
I was gonna quickly.
All right, come on, get your stuff.
I'm gonna quickly take her things and just silently head back down the stairs, take a pouch, and start going to each of the bodies that they killed and start dumping out some like dull coins into her hands and start placing them over the eyes and muttering some words.
As you kind of pass, also on the way down, he goes, "Well done, Demon Blood." Like that's the end of the sentence, and then starts rifling through the chest.
It says Demon Blood.
now have access to everything that's on your character sheet.
Woo!
When it says demon blood, just kind of gives her a side eye, but doesn't say anything and goes back to work.
When she says that,
your egg, Val.
when Val says that, I look over at her.
I freak the fuck out now that I remember the egg is in there, and I look at Thorin and I fucking check the egg.
The egg is warm to the touch.
What's that?
Otherwise undamaged.
Valkyrie. Played
Idiot.
nice.
You fucking... if you broke the egg, I swear to God, I would fucking end you.
I would like to see you try.
I pull my giant battle axe out. Let's go. You haven't gotten your shit yet.
I pull out my great axe. Want to try that again?
I think we just gained a ship.
Yes. Where do we want to go with it?
I love that it's the elves and the dwarves up there chilling.
Val,
reach in
Val,
and float.
take the helm. I'll show
No,
them what to do.
Val is just standing back and just staring at the elves with an air of superiority. They're just going, right, so it's not an elven vessel, but you definitely can right us home, or to the nearest shoreline, correct?
Can go a little bit further than that, I think. But if you'd like to get off at the nearest shoreline, we can surely let you off there.
At this point, Ismay steps forward and says, with Bulbus right behind her, and says, I have a suggestion. I should fully introduce myself. My name is Ismene Leto. Those of you with so Artanis and Mel, you guys can make history checks.
History proficiency. Can I get in on this?
If you have a history proficiency, then sure,
Yes.
you can as well. What did you get, Mel?
Also 17.
17. That name sounds very familiar to you, Artanis, and you pin it instantly, Mel. The leader of... We're going to go back here. The leader of Ralos, the head of state there, is a Minister Astrea Leto.
I seem to recognize your surname.
You may be familiar with my mother, Minister Astrea.
That I've heard.
I'm not much of a sailor. It would appear that some of you are. If you can get us safely, my Bulbus and I can get us safely back to Ralos, my mother will shower you with rewards.
What happened to him? How'd you get out here?
We make a persuasion check.
Sure.
You guys don't know, like, Bulbous. You know Bulbous as just this scrawny little kid. You're not aware of who he is fully. Most of you. She looks at you and says, he was a political prisoner in Calcaria, and we're trying to get him back to the Republic so we can be together.
Can I make an insight check?
Sure. Here, let me set the DC for you real quick.
Oh,
I rolled a 25.
Well, hold on.
I'm much better at this.
She's not being fully truthful about who Bulbous is, but the rest of it seems is truthful.
Right. Well, if the dwarves will promise to not murder everybody we come across, then we can. I have no objection to take him to Ralos.
Some friendly places would be welcome.
We don't kill everybody.
I take firm offense to this. Knife
Noted.
here.
Noted.
I mean, you talk and bore everybody to death. Isn't it the same?
I mean, I believe there's a longship on the side of this thing. You could just start rowing back to whatever fuck off island you're from, if you prefer. Or you could elect someone who actually knows how to run this boat and get us to Ralos. So apparently we can be showered in gifts. Hopefully hack silver, and I can just look over like.
I have no objections to letting the experienced ones lend their expertise.
I've sailed for 112 years. You think I'm not experienced?
I know that I'm not experienced with sailing.
I want to insight the fucking knife-eared fuck.
Make an insight check.
Damn.
It's not bad.
What'd you roll?
I'm seeing if my insight is any good. It's a dirty 20.
He started learning to sail around 112 years ago, yeah.
Got it. All right, well, I kind of just announced to the people on the ship as ostentatiously as possible, it appears that I'm your captain now, so act accordingly. And I just looked at Thor and I go, raise anchor.
Raise anchor.
No, you're the one to raise the anchor.
He turns around and goes, I know, you dumb shit. I'm just telling everybody what the fuck I'm doing.
Oh, right.
All right. So, you guys are right here in this hex right here. Your ship that you currently have travels at 1 hex every 3 days. However, if the hex that you're traveling in is got land on it, so it's considered a coastal tile, you get to ignore that speed disadvantage because of Val.
Ranger shit.
Her favored terrain being coast. So you can plot your course for Ralos.
All right, Val. Where we going?
And this hex, Bill?
Down into the left one. That one.
Boom, 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 boom.
All right, so that's 8 hexes. You reduce the time penalty from 2 to 1, or from 3 to 2. So each hex is 2 days. You have a 16-day journey to Ralos. For each hex, so that's 8, you'll have to roll on the. You would normally have to roll on a random encounter die, but because of Val's favorite terrain, you do not. Your travel is unimpeded. What would you guys like to be doing on the ship over these 16 days?
Mel's gonna be finishing up her work with the. She'll probably like take out some thread and make sure that each corpse that they had there has like a coin in its mouth, like sew the mouth shut, and then have a sea burial for them. Going.
Oh, speaking of which, for that you gain 2 piety.
Yee.
Mel. Thorin, you gained 1 piety. And Domhnall, you also gained 1 piety.
Coolio.
So far. Anyway, continue, Mel.
Yep. Then I haven't quite figured out what it would be, but she's also going
Any
through
conversations you want to have can also be included in things you're doing.
She's going through rituals to hopefully have the ghosts on the ship that already have their bodies gone passed on.
Absolutely. Anybody else?
Go
ahead.
I'll go over to Artanis and kind of just look at him as like, all right, listen, none of us really like each other, but we got a job to do.
G4!
So come here, and
Hey,
I'll
thanks
show
for
you
the
how to tie
raid!
some damn knots.
How is it,
so you're
friend?
not that
How was
useless.
session? Hope it went well.
Perfect. I was actually
New
going
campaign.
to say I'm going to spend some time trying to observe the dwarves and learn more about the sea and the ship and the environment we're in.
I kind of squint my eyes at him. Are you fucking with me, or are you being for real?
I'm for real, as you
good.
say.
I need to hear
Insight
about
check.
all the stuff that happened.
Make an insight check.
I need to know when they get back from
It's a good
from
thing
work,
I am
quote
proficient.
unquote.
15. Wait,
I'm
yes,
earnest.
15.
Artanis?
I am earnest. I genuinely want to learn about the dwarves and the sea and the art of sailing.
All right. Here, and he'll hand you like kind of like a string that's about that long, and he'll show you 3 knots, and he'll make sure that he can see that you can do them, and then once he can see that you do them, he's like, practice those 10 times each, and I'll come back and come get me when you're done.
Thank you, friend. And I begin practicing my knots.
Make an intelligence check. Just a straight intelligence check, Artanis.
I'm pretty intelligent, but not very lucky. Haha!
You pick it up in half
Sadness.
the time that Thorin
Surgery,
suggested.
oh fuck.
Is this how to do it?
The fuck? All right, Mr. Wise Guy. I'll show you 3 more, and he'll show them 3 more advanced knots. And he'll like, now do that shit.
So this takes place over the course of several days. Artanis, at the end of this journey, when you arrive in Ralos, you will be 1/4 of the way towards water vehicles proficiency, if you keep this up.
Thank you, friend.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Isn't it weird calling a dwarf a friend?
Why?
Aren't we supposed to like hate each other?
Oh, I don't always do what I'm supposed to do.
I've noticed that. Quite a bit, actually. Last days with you.
Seems more interesting to break the mold and see what else the world has to offer besides what we've been taught just in our pasts.
I don't know nothing about that. I'm just a simple man, so I just make metal things and protect that one. And he points at Val.
Yeah, the badass that killed everything on the fucking ship definitely needs all the help.
Motherfucker, how many guys did I kill? Do we really need to keep count? I'm at 5. No,
I believe you're
I'm at
right.
11. I'm at 11 for the 6 that saved your ass earlier.
You were both pretty effective from my
I
perspective.
swing the chip and I just bonk Thorin with it.
What's Domhnall up to?
Donald will do his best to aid in the sailing of the ship and otherwise completely ignore the dwarfs. Instead, he will go chat with Artanis and Mel because he's especially curious about Mel.
All right. You find a moment when Ismay and Baldus are like down in the belly, off in a corner, making out, and then.
Yep.
Wait! You can't
That's
just
a makeout
breeze over
corner.
that.
We just have a makeout corner on the ship. Okay.
Apparently,
Now we do.
They think that they're being real slick about it, but
they're not.
I can only assume that
fine,
Naru goes to fuck with them at some point.
But Mel doesn't want to be around that, so she goes to the deck, and she's not that far from Artanis, who's working on some more knots as you come walking up.
Alrighty. So, what was your name? Artanis, was it?
It is. And you, I believe, are Donald?
Yes. Donald of House Eros.
I had a friend whose familiar was named Donald. It was a duck.
Well, I am not a duck.
I can see that.
Quack, quack.
Okay. Can I ask why you left?
I came to explore, see what is beyond our borders, and what kind of people are out there that might make good friends and allies.
I would like to make an insight check.
Make an insight check.
Okay.
Based on that, Artanis, you can tell him what you think he should know.
I appear to be earnest in my eagerness for meeting new peoples.
Okay. There's a slight
an unusual trait for an elf, Dom.
Yeah. I don't worry, I got you.
What brings you out?
Sorry?
What brought you out?
Oh, bit of a quest, I guess you could say.
Quest for what?
To not quite be so... And he kind of pulls back one sleeve of his robes and shows his extremely scrawny, like, noodle arms. Not be so... this.
Oh, you want exercise?
He holds up a finger and goes down and tries to do, like, a single push-up and cannot even hold himself... he can't... unnecessary. He can't even, like, hold himself up at all.
I want to see the roll.
How loud?
Watch, it'll be a natural 20. Oh no! Well, okay, we tried. It would have been amazing.
Yeah, he almost gets like a fourth of a push up in before his arms go out.
It's a little bit hard to exercise when
and
you
not
can't.
even like a real push up, like the one where you're on your knees.
It's bad. It's real bad.
You see this is all, you're witness to all of this.
A little bit hard to exercise when you can't really exercise.
Well, we all have challenges. There's nothing that can't be overcome. And I fish out from my pack. I grab a strap of leather, and then I shake my head, and then find just a strip of simple cloth and ball it up and hand it to him and just say, start by squeezing this. Practice and get in some, and eventually your grip will strengthen.
I can certainly try. Been working on this for a long time, though. That's why I'm out here, looking for something to help.
Anything in particular?
Maybe. Well, I'll have to let you know when I find it.
Well, as long as we're journeying together, I'm happy to help you find it.
Much obliged. And what about you, quiet one? What are you doing out here?
Just kind of gives a look a little bit at that. She's been listening the entire time. And they'd probably see that whenever there's like clouds in the sky and they cover the sun a little bit, the shadows seem to make her more like a telltale character with shading. A little bit more shadow on her than anything. And just kind of like peeks out from under, like she has the cowl up because of the sun, and just kind of work. And she looks over at the two making out in the corner.
What are you, protecting them or something?
Retrieval.
Oh. Okay. You are retrieving them for the same people that we're retrieving them for, right? That's not going to be a problem?
Yeah, she's gonna peek back over to Ismay in particular. Her.
Gotcha. Gotcha. You are a regular fountain of information.
I don't like being long-winded.
Fair. All right. I don't really have anything else to ask people.
All right. On your 6th day that you're journeying, you are all up on the decks when Bulbous is off to one side, having just come up for air from a makeout session for a little bit. They're like horny teenagers at a drive-in. It's there is a flash of brilliant purple velvet light, and a figure appears on the ship. With that looks exactly like that. Kind of looks back and forth, walks over to Bulbous, who turns around with kind of like a look of shock and horror, and just starts like shaking his head no as the individual's walking over and says, "Your Majesty, you have given your mother and father quite a fright. It's good that I've been able to find you. It is time for you to come home with me." As he walks over and goes to put a hand on Bulbous's shoulder. Are you guys doing anything?
Yeah,
immediately.
I would like to
attempt to whack.
Yeah, immediately up behind with a dagger to the throat.
As you guys come out, I need all of you to make wisdom saving throws as you
Ooh.
come at him.
Yes.
Oh, nat 20! Fuck yeah!
4.
19.
What is going on Flint's camera? Oh my god.
She's showing you the nat 20.
Everyone except Flint, or except Mel, is held in a hold person spell. As he waves his hand. You come up to sneak up behind him, Mel. You can. What are you doing?
Basically wants to try to get between, or like put a dagger up right before they're about to reach them so they can't get any closer without like basically slicing into themselves.
They continue to walk forward as if you're not there, and he looks at you and just is like, "Oh, child, please. I am here to rescue His Highness and take him back to his rightful place. Get out of the way before you hurt yourself. This is the last time I will give you this warning."
I'm gonna go for it.
You're gonna try and attack him?
Mm-hmm.
Make an attack roll.
Uh, 19.
He casts shield, and you miss. He then casts Bigby's hand, grabs you with it. That is 29 to hit.
Yeah, there's no way I can.
All right. It grabs you. You take 6 points of damage and are thrown overboard. As he reaches out, grabs Bulbous, and there's another flash of purple light. And they are gone. And Mel is overboard. What are you guys doing?
Wait,
Are we still held?
Aren't we all? Yeah, aren't we still held?
The hold drops as soon as he's gone.
I shout, lay anchor, like for Thorin to drop
You
the
guys
anchor.
are all just frozen and forced to watch this happen.
I
go and
Ismay, as soon as she's unfrozen, screams.
I go and try and throw a rope to Mel, and probably fail miserably.
Make an athletics check.
Oh, 11.
You pick up the rope and don't throw it so much as kind of lower it over the side.
Oh, fuck's
Kind of drop it over the side. Mel, you can make an athletics check to try and grab and climb the rope.
Okay. 10.
That's enough to grab it. You're like kind of dragging next to the ship. You haven't quite pulled yourself out of the water yet.
Like,
Thorin will grab the rope and see if she's having trouble, and he'll just start heave-hoeing.
Make a strength check. Are you gonna rage first?
Yes.
Donal will do his best to help you. I don't think it'll give you anything, though.
You do not get advantage from Domino assistance.
That's a help action. You did not collect $200, my friend.
So not an athletics, just a strength.
Straight strength. Yep.
So that's advantage.
Yep.
11.
You start helping. Mel, you can make another athletics check, this time with advantage because you're getting help from Thorin.
That's 14.
Yeah, between you and Thorin, he's able to yank you back up onto the ship.
And just like mutters another like curse and infernal under her breath.
You guys were essentially right here when this happened.
So,
Ismin, why would such a powerful caster be coming after Bulbous?
A little bit of a snarl and like tooth.
Ismay is unavailable at the moment. She's just weeping over the side of the ship.
Mel's just gonna like grumble in her breath. Prince.
Based on who the prince referred to him as, Artanis, Domhnall, and you already know.
Yep.
You already know who that is, Mel, so you don't have to roll. But history checks from the two of you.
Oh.
Sorry, I was sneezing.
No worries.
You guys don't know who that is. But
Mel just said Prince.
Mel, if you could join me in secrets briefly.
Mm-hmm.
So that is, obviously, as the name said on his card, Arcane Steward Attilas Agrippa.
Mm-hmm.
He is essentially the number 2 in Calcaria, behind the Emperor. Many people believe he's a more powerful caster, but has been unable to ascend to the top seat because of the Emperor's powerful wife, who's also a powerful caster.
Okay. Gotcha.
But he is known to tread in the darker versions of the arcane arts, like the necromantic kind.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely why she attacked him.
Yep. So, anyway, it's up to you whether you share that, but
okay.
I'll be back now.
You did something?
RNG.
That one, RNG.
All right, so what exactly did people ask after that?
So, who was that?
Oh yeah, who was that? And Artanis asked, why would a powerful caster be coming after Bulbous?
Well, the answer to the second one, she just muttered Prince underneath her breath. But then, like, Calcarian second in command.
Oh.
Bulbous is okay.
You mean to say that that was a prince of the Empire?
She just kind of curses a bit under her breath again.
Like, the Empire?
Do any of you mean to inform your fucking captain of what's going on down there?
Can't you hear, or are you too short to actually hear anything with those shit-ass ears of yours?
Shut up.
Hey, sister, you missed. Do another one.
Too noisy.
Domhnall, for that insult, you get a piety.
Hey! Nice.
Hermes' best god.
Also, you got a piety as well, Mel.
Ooh.
For attacking, you know who.
Mm-hmm. Did you know that?
I think we were lucky to survive that.
Oh, probably. Probably.
So fucking close.
Close to what?
Stabbing him, it looked like.
Kind of. Close to Rallos.
Sorry, who's Rallos?
It's the city we're going to.
Oh, yes, right. That's me brain farting, not Donald.
Nope, it's canon.
Him being gone could have put a fucking dent in the war effort.
Oh. Are you from Alaruan?
Yeah.
Well, perhaps we'll get another shot at him when we have a bit more ability on our own side.
Ismay comes over and says, tears still streaming down their face, says, "I'm sorry. I didn't want to risk telling you who he really was until we got back to Ralos."
It's a dangerous secret. He seemed fond of you, though.
We met on a diplomatic retreat years ago, and you know, Aphrodite can be cruel sometimes. He's the gentlest, most thoughtful, caring person I've ever met. I spend a lot of time around ruffians, and
At diplomatic retreats?
yeah, trying to maintain peaceful relations between the Empire and the Republic.
And what would have happened to those relations if it was discovered that you had kidnapped their prince?
She looks away and doesn't really answer, and kind of changes the subject and says, "Listen, we're still only a day out from Ralos. I promised you a reward, and you still deserve one, I think. And my mother would like to thank you for getting me home safely. Probably. So, if you could still get me back to Ralos, maybe I can try again in a couple years once I have some more time to plan."
His
You
grits are
may
due
as
to
well
bed at 2
continue.
years. Not all of us have 2 fucking years.
Unless you have any more questions for her. Does anybody have any more questions for her?
Not at the moment.
Is he like heir to the Empire or just a prince?
Ismay says, he is the sole heir to the Emperor.
Oh.
Mel just kind of gives him a look like, yeah, that.
Oh boy.
Dangerous game you're playing there. But I can appreciate its spirit.
She looks like she wants to say something, but holds her tongue.
It's not a game.
I understand the ramifications, but love is like a driving force.
A hurricane.
Sure. It's not the metaphor I would use, but why not?
I mean, it seems apt for this sort of situation. But, well, if Ralos is trying to hurt the Empire, then I see no harm in paying him a visit.
You know, Ralos is a place, right? Not a
Yeah.
person.
I know.
Just making sure.
I'm speaking in the collective.
Yes,
The
yes, yes.
collective of Ralos.
Sorry. So, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go cry some more. And she disappears down below decks. A day later, you all arrive.
Do we see
in
like any
the
debris
free
in the
city.
water as we're approaching?
As you're approaching the city?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
You arrive at the free city of Ralos.
Oh, at some point during this journey, I will make a trek to whatever side of the ship that has the name on it, so I know the name of the ship.
There is no name on it.
Ship
It
with
is
no
a ship
name.
with no name.
Hey!
I guess it would be a trek with your short little legs.
Welcome to Ralos. We'll pick things up here next week.
Yee.
You all level up
Oh,
to
cool.
level 3.
Yeah!
With that, Val, your egg hatch.
Sweet.
Dope.
What comes out?
Polar bear. No, for the moment you just see a little beak peek out, and you see this beautiful brown and gold falcon just emerges, and Val is awestruck. I will call you Ravina, and nothing ever bad will happen to you. And that is it.
All right. Whew. Welcome to the new campaign, guys.
Hey.
Welcome to Ralos. Population over 186,000. Patron deity is and Artanis, you would have studied up on this. Patron deity is Athena. The city is known for being the heart of arcane academic and philosophic study in the Republic. Level 3.
I didn't get to cast any of my
Three.
spells this session.
Level 3. Anyone gonna say what their subclass is for chat?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm going Beastmaster, obviously.
Hence the egg.
Yes, of course.
So, I mean, I already took my subclass. I'm Circle of Dreams.
Yep.
I continue to be a blade singer.
Mm-hmm. Thorin?
I am Path Berserker.
Ooh, Berserker. Nice. And Phantom Rogue. Let's go.
Nice.
So yeah. Hell yeah. We got through first session, y'all. Thanks for everyone who stopped by chat. Thank you so much for hanging
Hope
with
you guys
us.
had fun.
Thank you for the subs.
Yeah.
JC, thank you for the
Enjoyed the
subs.
first session.
Valentine, thank you very, very much. We will be back next week.
Oh, also, real
Hmm?
quick, sorry,
Hmm?
before I forget.
Mhm.
You find, in addition to your stuff, on all the dwarves and stuff, there was a grand total of about 500 gold pieces in mixed coinage and stuff between all the dead clan lists and whatnot. So you could split that up evenly if you like between the 5 of you, or have party funds, however you'd like, but 500 gold pieces.
I am not in charge of the party funds or the party anything.
Yeah.
I'm
Not doing that
more
again.
than happy to be in charge of party funds if we want to have a party fund.
Yeah. Now we'll make sure to use a few of those for any of the non-asshole spirits that were on the ship for payment.
Sure. How much of this are we putting into party funds? Or are we just splitting, like, this one we should probably just split amongst the group of us for, so that
Yeah,
each
I
of us
agree.
has some spending money.
Yeah, we don't like each other that much yet. I don't think we.
Yeah.
It's cool
Yeah,
to have
no.
party fun.
Not yet.
No.
Party fun is
Whenever
not
that
a thing
happens.
just yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Didn't run us aground. Didn't sink the ship. Ship didn't get on fire. I say today is a good day.
How many ships have you been on that you ran aground or were on fire?
I run every long ship during a raid gets run aground. It's the fastest way to get people to shore.
Yeah, it's pretty much
It's
what
not
normally
very smart to
happens.
go swimming with a giant crate on your back.
Oh. You're raiders too.
Aye.
Perfect. Just perfect.
If we weren't raiders, we would be in the mountain.
He's gonna think we're dirt people. We're not dirt people. Those are
We're
mountain
sea
dwarves.
people.
We're
Yeah.
we're sea dwarves.
Yes, we bathe like dirt dwarves.
Yeah, the moment that like they were dirt people could have fooled me.
The amount of sass in this group.
That's
is
like trash.
unfathomable
Their version
right
of
now.
trash
I'm
person.
picking up a lot of
Dwarf hate.
off of.
No,
off of
mostly
Mel.
just from the demon blood and knife
I
fear.
know, just like the vibe. No, just like the vibe. Though I feel like I get a little. Bit
I
of
don't think we've
Nebula.
introduced ourselves to each other.
Yeah, none of us know each other's
I
names.
assume
No,
over
besides
the
demon
course
blood
of
and
the-
We
the
collectively
8
made a
days.
plan. We collectively made a plan to escape, but before that moment, like I don't like we never went like, oh, I'm also because nobody like also will never say like, hey, call me Val because we're friends. That's not cool.
Yeah, no.
That's a Thorin thing. Like he's my brother and he gets away with it. Everybody else, that's not cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So So I imagine over the course of the 8 days, you probably figured each other's names out and stuff, which makes it January 8th of the year 548 of the Second Age.
Bum, bum, bum. Sweet.
So one of you does need to be for the party the calendar person.
I got it. I'm taking notes as well. So session 1 takes place from Jan 1 to Jan 8th, 548.
Okay.
And it's just like our calendar,
Okay.
the actual calendar.
Bill,
Except no leap years.
Oh, awesome.
Never.
Bill, when you said dwarven captors, I was like, oh, if you kneecap us right now, I would love you so hard. Like, you can't kill these dwarves. Like, just set
They were
everybody
clanless.
else. I know.
They were obviously clanless.
Yes, of course.
Posted my notes for your consumption.
Sweet.
There you go.
Thank you.
Nice.
Right.
On that note.
Yeah. Okay, chat. Who could I send you to? Fuck.
You leveled up and
Trying.
stuff. You got all your shit.
The dwarves are being shit.
Dwarves are being shit. Dear diary, the dwarves made fun of me and called me names.
Hey man, I got piety for insulting the dwarves.
That's
I'm
true.
happy
That's
to keep
true.
throwing shit at them.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm not a little bit salty that I didn't kill us on the high seas for fucking over a week. No piety. It's cool.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, chat. I'm gonna send you to Sachi because they're doing Purple Lotus stuff. So, until next time, you all stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
I'm a badass asexual polyhedral
That was fun. I hope you guys had fun.
Yeah.
It was nice. It was nice to actually kill him. Yeah, like 4.
Level 2 combat.
Right. I think I killed more things in this game than I've ever killed with Nox.
Oh, I don't know.
No,
about that.
I don't think that's true.
I don't know about.
Nox was not a. He was not a damage. He was not a. He was a damage dealer, but he was not the final blow killer.
Surely, over 3 years, you killed more than 60.
Yeah, I just made that up. Bill went with it. By the way, 100%. It's got to be 100% Thorn's fault. We got captured.
No, it's yours.
100% your fault.
No, it's yours because he came to save your